All right, let's dive into a story that is a true modern-day fairy tale. We are going inside the Louis Vuitton atelier right in Paris for the final fitting of musician Este Haim's absolute dream wedding dress. And trust me, this is a story that has been decades in the making.
And this one quote from Este herself, it really says it all. This isn't just about a gorgeous dress. It's about a childhood fantasy finally coming true. It's a super personal moment brought to life by one of the biggest fashion houses in the world. So let's get into how this all happened.
So where does a dream like this even begin? Well, for Este, you have to go all the way back to when she was just a little girl.
She had this crystal clear picture in her head, a huge grand spiral staircase, just like in the movie Cinderella, and she'd be the one walking down it in this incredible massive ballroom gown to meet her future husband. It's a dream she literally held on to for her whole life.
Okay, so you have the dream, but how do you make it real? Well, it all starts with a proposal, of course. And this one? It was just a perfectly imperfect moment.
So, let's get our bearings with a quick timeline. Her now husband, the tech entrepreneur Johnny Levin, proposed in late 2024. Then, the final fitting that we're talking about happened in November 2025, just about a month before their big New Year's Eve wedding.
And what made it all so special was that she had absolutely no clue it was about to happen. There wasn't some big, elaborate setup, no hints. It was a complete and total surprise.
Now this is my favorite part because of the contrast. So you're picturing this Cinderella fantasy, right? Well, the reality of the proposal was so wonderfully normal. They were on a hike. She was in sweats and sneakers, hair just thrown up in a top knot, zero makeup, and get this, she even had acne cream on her face. It's just so real and relatable, you gotta love it.
And how sweet is this? Johnny actually proposed with a placeholder ring. He told her right away, hey, this isn't the final one, I want us to design the real one together. I mean, that just shows how much he saw this as a true partnership right from the get-go. So, the engagement is official. What's next? The dress. But this wasn't going to be just any old shopping trip. No, this was a full-on dream collaboration with the designer Este had admired for, well, forever.
And that designer is the one and only Nicolas Casquier, the women's creative director of Louis Vuitton. For Este and her sisters, this was a massive deal. They were huge fans of his work since they were kids, flipping through their first copies of Vogue. He was actually one of the first people they even showed the engagement ring to. The way the dress came together was honestly just as magical as the dress itself. Este shows up to a lunch meeting armed with a Pinterest board just packed with her favorite Gasquier designs, and then in this totally incredible moment, Nicolas just picks up a pencil right there at the table and starts sketching the dress live right in front of her and her sisters. And Este's reaction to that sketch, it just says it all. She felt like he had somehow snuck into her brain, saw the exact dress she was picturing, and just put it down on paper. It was this perfect, almost telepathic moment.
And it was a special collaboration because that feeling was totally mutual. Nicolas himself said the whole vibe was so easy and natural, he felt like he was the fourth Haim sister for a minute. It was way more than just a designer and a client, it was a real creative friendship. So all of this leads us right here, to this moment. We're at the Louis Vuitton atelier in Paris for the final fitting. This is where the sketch, the dream, all that anticipation, it's all about to become real. And of course, she wasn't alone. Her sisters, Alana and Danielle, were right there by her side. They were actually there for their own final fittings too, seeing their gorgeous pale blue bridesmaid dresses, which, how clever is this, served as Este's something blue. Okay, so the stage is set. The sisters are there, the excitement in the room is just buzzing. The big question is, after all this, what did the dress that held a lifetime of dreams actually look like? As Este stepped out from behind the curtain, this was it. This was the immediate sound from everyone in the room. Just a collective gasp and a joyful wow. That one word tells you everything you need to know about the impact this dress had.
Remember her request? She wanted two things, volume and drama. And oh, did Nicolas Gasquier deliver. It was the absolute embodiment of that Cinderella vision she'd been carrying around since she was 5 years old.
And this is the most powerful reaction of all. Through tears, Este just looked at the designer and told him that this was it. This was the exact feeling, the exact way she had always wanted to feel on her wedding day. The dream was finally real.
But you know, as magical as the dress is, the story doesn't stop there. Because at the end of the day, the whole celebration was about something even bigger. It was the culmination of love.
And the celebration didn't just have one look. Este had a whole second outfit planned for the evening. This romantic lace dress with a skirt you could actually remove, which is perfect for an after party. It just shows how much thought went into celebrating every single part of the day.
Because when she was asked what she was most excited about, it wasn't just about wearing the dress. It was about seeing her entire family all together, celebrating and just having a huge party with all her friends.
And this quote right here, it really brings everything back into focus. After all the fashion, the fantasy, and the fairy tale, it all comes down to what really matters. As Este said herself, the most important thing was simply that she was marrying the person she loves.
And that kind of leaves us with this one big thought to chew on. Este's story is this beautiful, very specific example of something we can all relate to. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How do the dreams we have when we're kids, the big ones, the small ones, end up shaping the most important moments of our own lives?